Hi, Darin Mangum here, the PPM attorney. In today's video, I wanted to talk about what investors are currently looking for, especially as investors, technology continues to develop and the ability to deliver investment documentation to investors. Investors are becoming more and more demanding when it comes to the use of technology and obviously access to, for your high net worth individuals, access to alternative investments, which is really good news for anybody that is out there that is putting together their own deal or putting together their own alternative investment. By alternative investment, I mean something that you can't just call up your Merrill Lynch broker or your Charles Schwab broker and say, hey, buy me so many shares of this, so many shares of that. Alternative investments are investments that are usually sold through a private placement memorandum, and increasingly investors are looking for those on platforms. In fact, later this week I'm going to be posting another video about some exciting developments on online platforms, which is something you definitely need to consider. But when I recently read a report from Wealth Forge and also a report by Bank of America, as wealth continues to transfer from your baby boomers to Generation X and your millennials, and obviously as millennials and Generation X create their own new wealth, they're increasingly looking at alternative investments, which obviously is the private placement market. It's estimated that between Generation X and baby boomer, or not baby boomers, millennials and Generation X generation, they have about 10 to 13% of their assets into alternative investments, as opposed to baby boomers, which mainly only have maybe 3 to 4%. And so, so increasingly, investors in private placements are going to be in that younger millennial, Generation X, again between the ages of 30 to 50 years old, and so increasingly they demand, instead of your old traditional private placement documents where you have to fill out all these forms, and all of that has to be done really online. And while you can still do, obviously sign a PDF or fax this back to me, or fill out these fillable forms, increasingly they're sending it back and forth through email. I mean, that certainly works, but you're definitely going to, I think, in order to distinguish your particular private placement among so many others that they have to choose from, you're really going to have that feasibility. And clients still say, or my clients still ask me, well, how should we prepare the PPM? And it's really however the investor needs to receive it. And increasingly, like I just said, a lot of your private placement investors, which are in this new demographics, are increasingly demanding them to be as easy and be able to log in, do electronic form, sign it, and then send it back, and have funds electronically transfer as well. And all that could be done through an online platform. And so if your current private placement offering is not looking at those technologies, you definitely need to look at that. Anyway, feel free to like this page if you like this content, and look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thank you.